Before the election, the coalition made a lot of promises. In fact, the importance of keeping promises was itself an election issue. And ever since, we've been keeping track of dozens and dozens of those promises. Tony Abbott says he's delivering.
This is a government which is keeping faith with the Australian people, that is, carefully and methodically delivering on the commitments that we made to the Australian people at the election.
So, after 10 months in power, what is the coalition's record on promises? Well, the answer might surprise you.
We'll abolish the carbon tax, so power prices and gas prices will go down.
In March, the Labor-Green Senate majority rejected the carbon tax repeal bill. In early July, the opposition and the Greens combined with the Palmer United Party and Ricky Muir to defeat it a second time. A week later, Palmer United senators Ricky Muir and others agreed to support the carbon tax repeal at the third attempt, and the bill passed. So this promise, arguably the centrepiece of Mr Abbott's campaign, has been delivered.
The next coalition government will stop the boats by putting in place the policies that have been proven to work.
Since the election, the government has embarked on a border protection operation surrounded by secrecy. We do know from the time the government came to power until the end of last year, 22 boats arrived. But then the government announced no boats arrived in January. In March, they announced it had been 100 days since a boat had arrived. But in early July, the government confirmed it had intercepted 2 boats at sea carrying Sri Lankans. So, given that a boat could arrive at any time before the next election, we're saying this promise is still in progress. We can say that another promise not to allow anyone who arrives by boat to settle in Australia permanently was broken last week when the minister granted a visa to a 15-year-old Ethiopian boy. A number of other promises, including the repeal of the mining tax, have been stalled by Parliament. And then, of course, there's this promise.
The only party which is going to increase taxes after the election is the Labor Party.
The government's first budget contained plans for a deficit levy on high-wage earners, along with a GP co-payment and indexation of the fuel excise. Treasurer Joe Hockey has confirmed they amount to tax increases. With Labor support, the deficit levy passed the Senate and into law. So we can say the government's promise not to increase taxes has been broken. So, what does the promise tracker reveal about the Abbott government's record? Well, the vast majority of promises are still in progress. A handful have been stalled, and overall, more promises have been delivered than have been broken. You can keep track on our new interactive promise tracker with updates on almost 70 government commitments. And let us know if you have any suggestions. You'll find it on our website now.